In our family, a perfectly prepared prime rib was either served for Christmas dinner or for New Year's Eve dinner, and it's always been a family favorite. Your first step in preparing your prime rib, about 2 hours before you're going to put it into the oven, is you want to prepare your dry rub. I'm grating 2 cloves of garlic into my dish. Herbs are pepper, herbs of Provence, powdered garlic powder, dry oregano, and fresh garlic. No salt at this point, and just mix it all together. Now you can do the dry rub and put the meat back in the refrigerator for as long as you want to, but it should at least be sitting with the dry rub for at least 2 hours before it goes in the oven. My beautiful prime rib is now at room temperature. It's about 2¼ pounds, one rib, so this will feed 2 people very generously. And your first step is using some olive oil. Rub it into your meat. Just using your hands, go into your garlic and dry rub mixture and just rub it in. You're going to do this on both sides. So what exactly is a prime rib? Well, a cow has 13 ribs on each side of its body, and ribs numbered 6 through 12 are classified as the prime ribs. So the first thing you want to do is to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And on the stove, I have a pan, my roasting pan, heating with some vegetable oil. And I'm just very lightly coating this beautiful piece of meat that's been seasoned with flour. I still haven't added any salt yet. This is when you want to lightly sprinkle your meat and pat it in with some coarse salt. Then we're going to put this in a hot oil and we're going to sear it before we put it into the oven. The flour will help to create a nice golden crust on the meat. I just turned our beautiful prime rib and you can see the beautiful golden crust that it's forming. It's cooking about 4 minutes on each side, and then it will be ready to put into the preheated 400-degree oven. I've transferred our prime rib onto a roasting rack into a roasting pan, and I've inserted the meat thermometer, and now it goes into our preheated 400-degree oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, lower the heat to 350 degrees and continue roasting for 13 to 15 minutes per pound. Once out of the oven, the roast needs to rest for 15 minutes before carving. Our prime rib is beautifully cooked and it's out of the oven and it has rested now for 15 minutes and it's time to carve it. If you're lucky enough to have a carving tree with the spikes, it's a wonderful thing to have because it'll hold your meat in place. First thing I'm doing is I'm running my knife right along the bone and I'm taking the bone out. Just putting that to the side. So now you have nothing but a beautiful hunk of meat here. And you can slice it and carve it any way you like. You always want to cut on the diagonal. In our family, a perfectly prepared prime rib was served for Christmas dinner or New Year's Eve dinner. It has always been a family favorite.